There's no way you will not be successful in this world. You would always be successful because you are putting people's interest first. If you prioritize adding value, there's no matter what you do in your life, money would always follow you. Money follow people that add significant value. If you're not making money while you sleep, you will work until you die. I don't know who said this word, but this word actually resonates with me. Hello and welcome to this video. Before I get to go into this video, I'd like to thank you so much for supporting this channel, for being an amazing subscriber, follower and supporter. Started this channel not long ago only to give back, share my journey, share my property investment avenues, how I've been generating income in properties, and also sharing other people that have helped along the way to use property as a vehicle to make passive income or become a property millionaires. So thank you for your support. I really hope this channel has helped you significantly and is continue to help you. So thank you for the likes, thank you for the subscribes, thank you for sharing this with friends and families as well. However, this is the thing I wanted to tell you. We've realized there's so many people watching our videos, but most of them, actually about 70 to 75%, have not actually smashed that subscribe button. So I'd like you to kindly smash that subscribe button so that you can get a notification for any of my future videos in order not to miss any of them. So I really appreciate it, and share with friends and family as well. This is what helped the algorithm to push the videos out there to wider audiences like yourself who would learn about property, who would know that property is an option to also invest in to make passive income. So thank you, and I appreciate you all. If you're not making money while you sleep, you will work until you die. I don't know who said this word, but this word actually resonate with me. Why am I saying this? Is because when I finished university, I thought I was going to be financially free. I thought I'm going to do so many stuff. I don't have to worry about money anymore, only to realize that I would have to work for someone in order to make my own living. So I realized when I heard that word, if you're not making money while you sleep, you work until you die. That really resonate with me. I realized, okay, I'm working now as an accountant. About £20,000 a year was okay, but it wasn't really giving me the comfortable life I was always dreamed of for becoming an accountant. But what really makes me feel I needed to take action in my financial situation is thinking about if I got ill, I got run by a bus, or I got run by a car, or something drastic happened to me. That's my income gone. My income is actually out of the window. Maybe the company, and if they're a very nice company, they'll look after me for about a couple of months or so. And then after that, I'm on my own. And the benefit system, I'm not saying going on benefit is a bad thing, but I don't want to go to university only to make money whilst at work. And I realize if I go to ill, that's it, it's done. That then gives me a trigger point to know that I need to take my financial situation into my own hands instead of relying on my employers and the government. Right? So that's why I started my property investment journey. So in this video, I will share with you 8 property investment, business and entrepreneurial secrets in order to allow you to start and scale in any business adventure you want to get into. It could be property, it could be your own side hustle, a business, it could be anything, right? These are entrepreneurial secrets, and if you implement these, it would change your life drastically. And if you really want to make sure you learn it, you have to stay until the end. You stay until the end, watch the entire video in order to get the most value out of it. And don't be one of those people who start to watch stuff that never finishes it. Anyone who start watch stuff and never finishes it, sometimes there may be people that don't really finish anything that they do in life. I hope that's not you, and I know that is not you, okay? So let's look at these 8 secrets that have changed my life and have changed so many people that have worked with me. One of the first secrets is what I've learned is about creating value for your client or for your customer, because we were told when we're young It's all about you, me, think like that. Always think about yourself, always think about yourself. But what I've realized when I look at the entrepreneurial world, when I look at the business world, all the successful people are people that have added significant value in someone else's life. Or they've added tiny value to someone else's life. In most cases, significant value in someone else's life. Because when you add that value, people appreciate you more and people go for your services. I'll give you an example. I can talk about Amazon, for example. Amazon and Jeff Bezos. But he realized eBay wasn't doing well. eBay, people were struggling, they're getting scammed and all that sort of thing. He took eBay to the next level. He created Amazon where you can buy anything you want to be. It's the biggest supermarket in the world. Right, he drastically changed people's life that way. If you look at Dyson, for example, I think it's now Dyson, the one that does the Hoovers, right? So he looked at the existing Hoovers. He realized they're not good. So he literally went there, get scientists to kind of do lots of researches, right, in order to come up with the best vacuum cleaner you could ever get. Right, so he invented that. He made that his own. Today he's in most households. His vacuum cleaners are the best, and everybody knows it. Okay, so added value. Looking at Richard Branson, for example, he started as well. His story is so fascinating. If you don't know about his story, I would suggest you to read a book or watch an episode about his story. So basically, he saw a gap in the market. How he started his aeroplane business. I don't want to go into how he started his business in overall. I'm just going to give you a little bit about his Virgin Atlantic aeroplane business or organization. So he was on holiday, right? For whatever reason, I think they missed their flight or their flight got cancelled, right? He realized there were about 100 to 200 people that were meant to be on the same flight as he is that could not fly that day. Okay, so what he did basically is to ask everybody around him if they still want to fly. And then the people would say yes. So he went to another counter and asked what's the procedures to hire a flight to the destination that they were going to. Right? It was a bit tricky for him. They had to put him in touch with so many layers of people, but end up getting to the person who would lend him, who would actually allow him to hire that flight. So what he did basically is to hire that flight, right? And then obviously use those clients that are desperately looking to fly, put them on that plane and flew them to the destination, right? That's a massive benefit. That's a value is added to those people, not just the value. Guess what? He ended up flying without using any of his own money because the people paid for the flight and they end up going there. So whilst they're flying, then he thought about, okay, this could be a good business for me. So instead of me buying the aeroplanes, I can lease the aeroplanes, right? And then transport people from A to Z. That was his business model. So today he's got one of the biggest airline companies. So these are the things people do. People add value significantly in order to make ridiculous return on investment. If you prioritize adding value, there's no matter what you do in your life, money would always follow you. Money follow people that add significant value. Investor, for example, if you look for a dilapidated property, this property has been vacant for say maybe 15, 20 years or maybe even 5 years, you can go and secure that property, right? Fix that property, add value, bring that property to life, right? And guess what? You rent it to someone who needs it the most. Because when you rent it to someone who needs it the most, you're not just making money out of it, you're providing a home for someone. You're providing a shelter, an accommodation, a place where people can call home. That's the beauty of adding value, because everybody wins in that situation. It's not just you, everybody wins. So if you concentrate in that formula, I'll tell you this, there's no way you will not be successful in this world. You would always be successful because you are putting people's interest first. The second secret is building a strong team. Now, what do I mean by building a strong team? In order for you to be successful, you should be able to build a good team around you. People that will work with you, not for you. Listen to that. Write that down. People that will work with you, not for you. Right? Finding people that are smarter than you, people that are kind of specialized in things that you don't specialize on, right? Finding people that can do stuff that you don't want to do yourself. Finding people do stuff that you cannot add value to you, right? So you can concentrate in adding more value, being customer orientated to help people, right? Creating that power team in property world. If you're looking to buy property, maybe you want to get a mortgage broker, a very good mortgage broker. You want to get a solicitor, a very good solicitor, because you cannot do your papers yourself. You want to maybe get a good builder that can do all the renovation works for you, good management agent. You see, these people around you is what makes you successful. That's what makes you successful. You have to build this team, a dedicated, strong team to take your financial situation to the next level. Here's the thing, if you implement that, you build your team that way, there's no way you will not grow and take your investment journey to the next level, because this is what successful people are very good at, right? They're not the smartest people out there. You can see most of them have never finished university in the first place, but what they're very good at is getting people to work with them. They're able to delegate, they're able to eliminate stuff that don't add value to them, and they're able to eradicate stuff that doesn't add value to them. So these are the things you need to implement in your life. Look at yourself right now. If what you're doing is not adding value, or if you're not bringing a team around you to help you grow and sustain that growth, it's about time to think about what can you do to help those, what can you do to build that team in order to get you to that higher level. Because these people are not smarter than you, they're not smarter than us. We are all equal in the world, but we're not equal in the marketplace, because they know how to do building a great team around them. The third secret is all about adaptability, right? You need to be able to adapt to changes. You need to be able to adapt to technology, for example. If things are coming along, find a way how you can learn about it, or get one of your expert team to learn about that, because the world changes. Who would have thought today we'll have something like a softwares or AIs that are called ChatGPT, for example, that can write for you a whole sentence, a whole email, everything done for you. Right, there are now AIs that can literally replicate your voice and allow you to be everywhere. Right, who would have thought this would happen today? Who would have thought you'd be able to automate your processes? Okay, the world is changing, so if you don't adapt with the world, get to adapt what's happening in the world, you will literally lose your pace, and eventually you get eradicated in the marketplace. So you may be asking, how do I know I need to adapt? It's about following market trend, following someone who's on top of you, literally getting someone to mentor you, coach you, monitor what you're doing to ensure you are on the right track and you understand what's happening in the market. The next secret would be focus. You need to kind of focus on your marketing strategy and your targeted audience. Now, what do I mean by this? What do I mean is basically, if you're looking to, for example, venture in a business, right? Look at the business, right? Understand who the market is, okay? Who is your targeted audience? What are their age? Are you able to create an avatar of your audience? Walk in their shoes so you can feel their pain. Because if you can walk on their shoe, you focus on that target market, you'll be able to tailor their needs significantly, right? So once you've tailored their needs significantly, that allows you to attract them, and they will come to you for the services that you render, or for the product that you sell. Very important to focus on your marketing strategy. Don't see someone doing something online, you never know if it works or not, and then you just jump on the bandwagon and do exactly the same thing. I've seen people doing that over and over and over again. They say, oh, this ad is going online, I'm going to do exactly the same thing. They copy and replicate, everything becomes the same, become boring. People get fed up of seeing it. Right, even if they see it doesn't catch their attentions anymore. So focus on your targeted market, right? Be laser focused on it. Learn how you could improve from it. Learn what you can do to develop on your niche, so you can add significant value to those people. And the other thing also, that successful people, or the secret that you need to master, this is very important. If it is not the most important thing in this session, it would be the next secret I'm going to share. It's one of the most important of all of them, if not the most important, right? Managing finances wisely and understanding accounting principle. This is very important because if you don't know your finances, if you don't know your numbers, you will struggle. I'm not trying to say you need to know every single detail of your finances, but at least you need to know your income and your expenses, okay? Because if you don't know how much you're spending or how much you're making, how do you know how to invest? So you need to know these basic things, right? When I talk about finance, I'm not talking about deep level financing, knowing what profit and loss is, knowing what balance sheet is. No. What I'd like you to understand is how much money am I making and how much money am I investing and how much money am I really spending. So you need to know the differences between expenditure, investment, right, and income. Right? These are three distinct finances. Okay, income is what you bring in. Right, what you bring in, it could be from a work that you do, it could be from salary, it could be from, if you're a business person, obviously it could be from a business. If you're a property investor, it could be from a property investment you've made, like you could be receiving rent or capital appreciation. That would be your income. The second part is expenses. Expenses is what you expend. Literally, it could be, especially if you're not a business person, maybe it could be your broadband, your telephone bills, your car leases, your trainers you've bought, or your shoes, your handbags, your dresses. These are expenses. These are things that you may not be able to recoup back, and in most cases, doesn't add any value to you. Okay, these are your expenses. Okay, and we've got something that we call investment. So investment is the money you put up front to get a recurring income. Right? You are investing either to get recurring income or to allow that investment to grow and appreciate in value. Right? Because once that appreciating value, suppose you invest in, say, a property, for example. Let's forget about the cash flow you make from it for a minute. Let's look at the appreciation. Say you bought a property for £100,000 and that property goes up by 10% every year. So if it goes up by 10% a year, you've made £10,000 in capital appreciation, because that's the 10% of the £100,000. So that will give you how much? £110,000. If you keep that property for another year, the property price would have gone up by 10%, and you have made an £11,000. So if you add the 10,000 plus the £11,000, you're talking about how much? £21,000 just in capital appreciation. That's what you call investment. Okay, you've invested and you started to make money that way. And another secret you need to learn, which is very, very important, is to take calculated risk. Every entrepreneur, every business person, every property entrepreneur I see, they take risk. They take calculated risk. They look at the risk, they look at the benefit, and they make a decision and invest, right? Because you have to take that risk. In order for you to be successful, you have to take that risk. If you don't take the risk, you don't get a better return on your investment as well. Because the reward, right, compensate the risk, right? Because the more the risk, the better the reward. But you need to know how to calculate it by knowing your finances, right? Having a good team behind you, having a customer focus, your market, your market people, and obviously knowing the value that could add to your client. You see how this all joins? It's like a chain work, right? Is this making sense? If it's making sense, hit that like button now. Hit that like button now if this is making sense to you, okay? And then once you've done all those four things, then you build a network of connections, right? What do I mean by network of connections? It's like networking with like-minded individuals, right? It could be someone who's higher than you, right? I would suggest you network with someone who's higher than you, because when you network with someone who's higher than you, what you would learn from them. Don't network with someone below you, but someone higher than you or on the same ranking. So that way, then you are maintaining your level. If someone is higher than that, you're pushing your level. And guess what? When you push your level, it gets you to the extraordinary part of your brain that would allow you to expand and grow and take your life to the next level. And the final gesture around this is stay passionate, stay excited, commit yourself. Even when the going goes really, really tough, commit yourself. Because it's when you are passionate, that is the only time you're able to go through obstacles. Because if you're not passionate about something, you're not going to go through that obstacle, right? You're not going to go through that obstacle because you're like, oh, come on, man, this is not going to work. But if you're passionate about it, you're committed and you're motivated about it, guess what? You will be able to go through that obstacle, because that's the obstacle that will make you grow. That's the obstacle that will take you to the next level. And that's the obstacle that will bring you lots of return on your investment, make you a multi-millionaire, and eventually become a billionaire. I'm telling you now, you have to be passionate. You have to love what you're doing. Don't see it as a job, see it as a hobby. Like it, love it. If you have to hug it, hug it. In case you visualize yourself doing all this sort of thing, that's the only way you could grow. And I really hope this 8 secrets has really shining light on you and you can implement it. If you don't implement, what's the point of sitting here with me for how many minutes? Maybe 5, 10, 15 minutes, right? You go and implement this. I'm not going to say you're going to implement this accurately every single time, but at least attempt, right? Attempt to do it, right? Attempt to find someone to help you along the way. Just to summarize it again, right? Create value significant. Once you create that value, find people to work with. That's you build that team. Once you build that team, learn to adapt and change, pivot where necessary. Focus on your market. Know who your market is so you can tailor their needs accordingly. Manage your finances. Know your finances in order to be able to become a good business person. Take a calculated risk, okay? If there's a risk on it, make sure that is being compensated significantly for the risk you are taking. Build a good network of people that you can tap into to help you grow you to the next level. And most importantly, be passionate to what you are doing and commit to it no matter what. I really hope this video has been helpful. If this video has been helpful, smash that like button below. Subscribe to my channel for more amazing videos. I look forward to sharing the next video.